Northern Michigan's news leader. This is 9 in 10 News at Noon.
We start this afternoon with breaking news in the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. A jury just found these three men guilty of having a role in supporting the 2020 plot. The conviction comes as a major victory for state prosecutors after months of mixed results in the main case in federal court in Grand Rapids. Joe Morrison, Pete Musico, and Paul Bellar were found guilty of providing material support for a terrorist act as members of the extremist group known as the Wolverine Watchmen. They held gun drills with a leader of the scheme, that was Adam Fox. The plot started over their discussed with Governor Whitmer's response to the COVID-19 pandemic in the spring of 2020. Defense attorneys argued the three men broke ties with Fox by late summer 2020 when the plot became much more serious. Fox and three others were convicted of kidnapping conspiracy in federal court. Two others were acquitted. We will have much more on this verdict and a look at what could soon be a very similar trial in Antrim County when you join us tonight at 5 and 6.
None of what she just said is true. And here's why you can't trust anything she's saying when it comes to reproductive rights.
So when she calls me extreme, the truth is that there's no more extreme position than Governor Whitmer's on abortion.
The candidates for Michigan governor on the same stage for the final time, with just 13 days to go until Election Day. Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Republican challenger Tudor Dixon are looking at some tense days ahead now that both debates are behind them. Coming out of the first debate, polls showed a tightening race off a strong performance by both nominees. We expected to see a more pointed debate last night, and that's exactly what we got. Each candidate accused the other of false claims and plenty of lies. Dixon hammered Whitmer on her economic decisions, refusal to work with Republicans, and students failing test scores. Whitmer accused Dixon of not being serious on issues like gun control, school safety, how she'd balance a budget, and refusing to accept results of the 2020 election.
She has not yet acknowledged the outcome of the 2020 election, which has been audited over 250 times. She will not pledge to accept the outcome of the future election. I think that's very problematic. It's dangerous to have people who think that their ego and their party and themselves are more important than the health of our democracy.
I mean, I think that this is the situation that we're in now. We already see Hillary Clinton is denying the election of 2024. I mean, how can you do that already? So I think that this is just the culture that we have right now. We have to make sure that the election is run fairly.
And the two Michigan gubernatorial candidates were not the only ones taking to the debate stage last night. Voters around the country heard last-minute arguments from candidates in a number of closely watched races. Skylar Henry has more details on the Tuesday night debates throughout the United States.
Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman and Dr. Mehmet Oz squared off in their one and only debate in Pennsylvania's U.S. Senate race. For many voters, it was their first time seeing Fetterman since he suffered a stroke in May.
I might miss some words during this debate, mush two words together, but it knocked me down, but I'm going to keep coming back up.
But neither candidate held back from attacks, especially on the issue of crime, which is a key topic in the Keystone State.
John Fetterman, during this crime wave, has been trying to get as many murderers convicted and sentenced to life in prison out of jail as possible.
He has no experience. He has never made any attempt to try to address crime during his entire career, except showing up for photo ops here in Philadelphia.
While the race to control Congress is at the forefront of the midterm elections for many here in Washington, there are a number of gubernatorial races which have just as big of an impact for local voters. Crime was also a flashpoint in New York last night as Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul and her challenger, Congressman Lee Zeldin, clashed at their only debate.
There is no crime-fighting plan if it doesn't include guns, illegal guns.
It's amazing that we're going to be able to go through the entire crime conversation of this debate, and we're still waiting for Kathy Hochul to talk about actually locking up criminals.
While in Michigan, Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Republican Tudor Dixon clashed over abortion.
She's the one that said a 14-year-old child raped by her uncle is a perfect example of someone who should not have reproductive rights and the ability to choose.
She has no limits on abortion. So when she calls me extreme, the truth is that there's no more extreme position than Governor Whitmer's.
Michiganders are also voting on a ballot measure that, if passed, would enshrine abortion rights into the state constitution. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Gloomy skies are sticking around this afternoon across northern Michigan as we take a live look on our Doppler 9 and 10 Skycam in downtown Cadillac. But the rain will be moving out in the next couple of hours, and it should leave dry skies behind for the rest of the week. Doppler 9 and 10 meteorologist Haley Fischetti has all the details in First Weather at noon. Hi, Haley.
Hi, David. Yeah, we're seeing those gloomy skies. Just a few hours ago, we were seeing those rain showers. Now a little bit more drier, especially on the western side of the Lower Peninsula. Traverse City also starting to see some dry skies, with those thick clouds really hanging out with us for the rest of the day. And those colder temperatures, 45 degrees right now in Traverse City, 40 in Grayling and Cadillac, 44 in Mount Pleasant, 42 degrees in Rogers City. And those temperatures are not really warming up much today. We're going to see them just stick around in the 40s, maybe a few upper 40s and 1 or 2 50s in the forecast, but really staying on the colder side. Now, looking at current satellite and radar, we're seeing that system quickly leave our area. Most of us, especially on the western side near Lake Michigan, starting to see those cloudier skies. On the eastern side of the Lower Peninsula, Alpena, Oscoda, you guys are still holding on to a few more hours of those showers, but we're quickly seeing it leave our area, leaving for dry skies for the rest of the week. Now, we're also dealing with some gusty winds today as well, coming from the north, peaks up to 25 to 30 miles per hour at some spots. Definitely something to keep in mind, and with that north wind that's keeping that cold air in, that will be with us really for the next couple of days. So today's forecast, temperatures staying in the 40s to 50s, drying out, and then the next couple of days, going to be seeing plenty of sunshine, but temperatures feeling more fall-like in those 40s and 50s. I'll have that full forecast in just a bit.
A Missaukee County man has been charged with numerous sex crimes involving children. Leonard Robertson from Falmouth was arrested after a months-long investigation in a child porn case. Police searched several of Robinson's social media accounts after getting a warrant. He was charged Tuesday with multiple sex crimes, including having child porn. He's being held on a $50,000 bond. New at noon, 2 people were taken to the hospital after a pickup truck hit an Amish buggy in Isabella County Tuesday afternoon. The Isabella County Sheriff's Office says it happened on Wynn Road near Wing Road in Deerfield Township. Deputies believe the buggy pulled out of a private drive in front of the truck, which just could not stop in time. A man and woman inside the buggy were taken to the hospital. The driver of the truck was not hurt. A train derailment in Cadillac this morning is still causing issues for people trying to get around town, and we just learned those issues could stick around for the next several days. Cadillac police say the derailment is blocking both lanes from Chestnut Street near Lake Street and Haynes Street, also near Lake Street. The Cadillac Fire Department says 10 to 12 train cars have come off the tracks, but none of them flipped over or are carrying anything hazardous. Crews are working to get the train out of the way, but the Cadillac Police Department just told us the closure on Haynes Street is going to stay in place until Thursday, and that closure on Chestnut Street will be in place until Friday. They are asking everyone to follow the posted detours. Grief counselors will be on campus today at the Central Visual and Performing Arts High School in St. Louis, Missouri, just 2 days after a deadly shooting. A 19-year-old gunman killed a student and teacher and wounded several others Monday afternoon when he opened fire inside the school. Police say the gunman graduated from the high school in 2021 and entered the building armed with an AR-15 style rifle and some 600 rounds of ammunition. With school shootings at a record high in 2022 by at least some estimates, this latest shooting has once again renewed the contentious debate on gun control. Diagnosing and managing concussions can be quite challenging, especially for kids. Now, researchers are trying a unique method that may help predict which kids will have lingering concussion symptoms. Most symptoms of concussions usually resolve in a few weeks, but up to a third of children develop persistent symptoms like headaches, nausea, dizziness, blurry vision, and light and sound sensitivity. Now, researchers at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Ohio think saliva may help identify children who are at higher risk of lingering symptoms. By looking at the microRNA in saliva molecules, they found some of them were different in the group of kids that had prolonged concussion symptoms. And they say this technique is a non-invasive method that could easily be administered on sidelines.
This could be indicative of some sort of biological event, right? Some sort of reaction that this child is having, that their body is responding differently than other children who have typical recovery, right?
And knowing this could have a huge impact on kids, those who have persistent symptoms are more likely to miss school and have depressed moods, which researchers say can all lead to a lower quality of life. Why bankers are apparently not overly concerned about rising prices and a possible recession as they head to the ballot box on Election Day. That's coming up at noon.
Now, Northern Michigan's most accurate and reliable forecast from the Doppler 9 and 10 weather team.
Welcome back. We're seeing that gloomy skies across the area. Those showers we saw early this morning and overnight now starting to leave northern Michigan, but we're still left with those thick clouds, leaving for kind of a dreary sight across the area. Frankfort right now holding still with those thicker clouds, and temperatures are on the colder side. Everett right now 42 degrees, and across the area we're seeing those 40s, and we're not going to be warming up much today. 40 degrees in Newberry, 45 in Sault Ste. Marie, 40 in Cadillac, and 44 degrees in Mount Pleasant. Could see the temperatures warm up just a little bit more into those upper 40s, but really this is going to be it. And for the next couple of days, we're going to continue to see those colder temperatures, and that's because of the winds. We're getting north winds right now, gusty right now, 29 miles per hour in Houghton Lake, 21 miles per hour in Cadillac. Going to continue to see those gusty winds today before things really calm down tonight, but winds coming from the north. We're going to get cold air from Canada, and that's really just going to stick around, giving us those colder temperatures. Looking at current satellite and radar, this is the system that we were dealing with that gave us that cold front, now starting to leave our area. The eastern side of the lower peninsula really getting hit with those scattered showers, but the rest of us, the UP and even the western side of the lower peninsula, starting to clear out, just getting left with those clouds. And even the clouds are going to be leaving us later on in the afternoon. Looking at future view right now, seeing those showers starting to make their way across the area. In the next couple of hours, really only Lake Huron shoreline is going to be seeing those showers, but most of us seeing those thicker clouds, and the western side even starting to break apart, so we could see some peaks of sunshine today as we're heading into those evening hours, continuing to see those clouds really break apart. UP looking clear, so sunsets we'll be able to see, but We're going to continue to see those clear skies as we head into those overnight hours, and that's setting up for a really great couple of days as you're waking up on Thursday. Sunny skies, and it stays like that temperature-wise, still staying on the colder side, but plenty of sunshine as we head into the weekend. Now, temperatures today, 44 degrees in Sault Ste. Marie, 46 in Rogers City, 44 in Petoskey, keeping those gusty winds and those showers moving out, 46 degrees in Traverse City as well as West Branch, and in the Central Lower, seeing a little bit more of those warmer temperatures, 50 degrees in Mount Pleasant, 49 degrees in Gladwin. Your lows tonight on the colder side, 33 degrees in Sault Ste. Marie, partly cloudy skies in the UP. But as we head down into the northern lower and central lower, we're seeing mostly clear skies and colder temperatures, 29 degrees in Mayo, 32 degrees in Cadillac. Could see some fog develop as we head into tomorrow morning as well, with those lighter winds and clearer skies, 32 degrees in Mount Pleasant and 33 in Big Rapids. So your next 3 days, windy today, those showers quickly moving out, temperatures staying on the colder side in the 30s and for the 40s and 50s. And then as we head into the rest of the week, we're drying out, plenty of sunshine, temperatures staying in the 40s and 50s. This weekend, warming up to the 50s and 60s before we see some chances of showers on Monday.
Polls show rising prices and a looming recession are at the forefront of voters' minds this midterm election. Why bankers may not be as concerned, next at noon. Prices are rising and a recession could be looming. Polls show that's the biggest concern right now among voters, but that's not the case for many bankers. Amy Kiley explains.
And sometimes I only eat one meal a day.
Recent polls show inflation and the economy are the biggest issues among voters. But some of the nation's top bankers say they're worried about something else.
Everything is going up except our income.
A new report indicates consumer confidence is the lowest it's been since July, and the conference board says inflation is the main reason for the drop.
I'm taking maybe a week to two longer between haircuts.
Higher prices are forcing some people to curb their spending. If enough Americans do that, financial experts say the whole economy could slow down.
I think the economy is likely sometime in the next year and a half to go into recession.
Plenty of people who run the nation's financial sector think that too.
Economic conditions are going to tighten meaningfully from here.
Remember what the 2008 recession was like for some businesses in that industry?
These are stunning developments. Two of Wall Street's iconic names, Lehman Brothers and Merrill Lynch, falling on the same day.
But some top bankers and investors say inflation and a possible recession are not their biggest concerns. A group of them has been meeting in Saudi Arabia this week.
We'll manage right through that. I would worry much more about the geopolitics of the world today.
Specifically,
there's an existential risk of war, international war.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The theme continues this afternoon. More breaking news, this time out of Wisconsin. A jury has just convicted a Wisconsin man of killing 6 people when he drove his SUV into a Christmas parade last year. Darrell Brooks was found guilty of 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. Brooks drove into the parade in Waukesha back on November 21st of 2021. Brooks also dismissed his public defenders just days before the trial, and he was removed from the courtroom at times for his erratic outbursts. We will have much more on his conviction when you join us tonight at 5. Taking a live look now at midday trading on Wall Street. The Dow in positive territory, up 285 points to 32,122. The Nasdaq down, however, a couple dozen points. The S&P 500 is up 19. A drug commonly used to treat bacterial infections in children is in dangerously short supply. 3 of the top 4 makers of the antibiotic amoxicillin are reporting supply constraints here in the U.S. Amoxicillin is prescribed for many illnesses, including ear and throat infections, and comes in several forms. Children usually take the liquid form, which is reportedly where most of the shortages are happening. The Food and Drug Administration says it is working with pharmaceutical companies to fix the problem. 2 new studies suggest updated COVID vaccine boosters don't offer better protection than the original boosters. The FDA gave emergency use authorization for the updated boosters to Pfizer and Moderna back in August. They target the original coronavirus strain, which is no longer circulating, and 2 Omicron subvariants. When researchers compared the immune response of people who got boosted by both shots, that response looked about the same. If you have Pine Sol under your sink, you're going to want to hear this. Clorox is recalling 37 million bottles of Pine Sol that may have bacteria that could hurt people with compromised immune systems or people with external medical devices. There are not any reports of people getting sick, but 8 different versions of Pine Sol have been recalled. Rain is moving out this afternoon, Haley, but that's going to give way to clearer skies and colder temps as we head into the later half of our work week.
Yeah, once we get through these rain showers, we're going to see some sunshine for the rest of the week, but those temperatures are on the colder side, staying in the 40s and the 50s really for the rest of this week. This weekend looking really nice. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures warming back up into those 50s and 60s. And so far, Halloween, there's a chance of rain, but temperatures on the warmer side in the 50s and 60s.
Good opportunity this weekend to get all those leaves raked up that have fallen off in the recent rain and wind that we've had.
Definitely.
All right, thank you, Haley. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Northern Michigan. We will see you back here tonight at 5. Until then, take care.
Access 9 and 10 news anytime, anywhere. Watch live on View It or listen on enabled devices. Get the Doppler 9 and 10 weather app, plus the best in local sports on the My Sports Now app. 9 and 10 News, Northern Michigan's news leader.